Hello, comic book junkies. It's the Frog Queen here, and today I am bringing you my series of quick introductions with wonderful indie artists at this year's Dcaf, that's the Dartmouth Comic Arts Festival that I just attended about a week and a half ago. So, if you're like me and you love discovering new writers and artists, then keep watching, and even if you don't know how you feel about all that, give me a thumbs up and subscribe anyway, because I'm a witty bitch, and watch the video.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name's Bruce Dello, and I do comic books.
Can you show me one of your comic books?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. This is my bigger, heavier one, Cobra Stallion Volume 2, Radical Astral Tilt. I also, that's a sort of comedy, sci-fi, space opera thing. This one is more of a free associative, furry drug comedy nightmare.
Oh.
Stoner Garbage, Volume 2.
I love that name.
Volume 1. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's what I do, more or less.
And you're from here in Halifax?
Yes, I am from Halifax.
Cool. How can people get your comics?
Well, I'm usually at local cons. I've been at HalCon every previous year. I'll be at HalCon this year. And if you can't make it out to one of the cons, my comics are all online. You can get to them from my site, flyneftcomics.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll look forward to showing some of your comics in the future. Awesome.
Excellent.
I was wondering if you could just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what you write.
Yeah, I'm Dawn Davis, Player Prophet online. I do Those Dead Shadows. It's a webcomic slash game thing. I like to say that it's a illustrated novel with parts that you play. So I've got...
That's awesome. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, so I don't have any books to show you right now because it's still a work in progress, but one day I will. Today I'm actually selling, I've got a Tijuana Bible style card theme of one of the characters in the story, but you don't need to read it because you enjoy it.
Cool. And how can people find you on social media?
I'm at Player Prophet on everything, so PlayerProphet.
Awesome. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My website is playerprophet.com. ThoseDeadShadows.com. It's where you can find my story.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Colleen McIsaac.
And what is it that you do? I mean, I know, but
So I make a lot of kind of little tiny comics and illustrations. I do a lot of watercolor painting, and I do very small little comics. Yeah.
that's awesome. What are your comics about?
Usually about. They're very like cutesy looking, but they're often kind of about loss or like ghosts or death. In a poetic kind of way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Can I take a look? You got a beautiful table, so I'm just gonna snoop. I'm gonna back up. Oh, that's okay. It's busy here. Some of her beautiful work. And you're working right now as well, right?
Yeah, I do. I like to at Dcaf do little watercolor portraits of people, so I always have something on the go. So yeah.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Edmonton, but I've been living in Halifax for like a decade now.
That's awesome. Yay, Halifax. And how can people find your artwork online or find you online?
Basically, it's all under the same name. It's Little Foible, like that. So littlefoible.net is my website, and Little Foible is my name on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, etc.
Awesome.
And I do a drawing a day that I post on my Tumblr, so there's art.
Oh, I love those. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely follow you then.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Could you introduce yourselves and the publishing company?
My name is Nicole Marie Burton, and I'm the founder of Ad Astra Comics, which has now become a collective.
And I'm Hugh Goldring. I'm a writer and editor and co-publisher at Ad Astra Comics, which produces edits, reviews, and publishes comics with social justice themes.
That's awesome. And how did you get started in all this?
Well, the business started out as a blog, as many things do these days. I love comics and I love social justice, and I like it when those two things come together. I started a blog to review comics from a political perspective, to think about how comics could be used for activism or advocacy or for self-education if somebody wants to learn something about a different subject, crash course through a comic. And it just sort of kept growing, and as I expanded my scope and as I met and networked with different people, the business kind of transformed. Fast forward 4 years, we're now a collective of 4 people. We've published, just finished publishing our 5th title, and we're getting ready to publish our first original graphic novel later this summer.
Oh, that's awesome. How many artists are there in the collective?
So it's just me at this time. Everyone else kind of fulfills different duties.
Okay.
But we publish artists who are not a part of the collective.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me like back up and take a look at, we can see what some of this artwork is.
Yeah, well, artist is one of those words.
Awesome. How can people find your work online?
People can go to our website, which is Ad Astra Comics, comics with an X.com. Or I would highly recommend checking us out on social media, because that's where we share a lot of free comics. So on Twitter, on Facebook, on Tumblr, and on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I love introducing people to new comics. That's pretty much all I do. And hopefully, yeah, I'm definitely going to check this stuff out and follow you guys. And hopefully everybody else on YouTube will as well. Can you introduce yourself for me?
I'm Trevor Warshin, and I make comics mostly about me.
Where are you from?
I'm from Waterloo, Ontario, just outside of Toronto.
Oh, awesome. So you're here for Dcaf. Are you here long, or?
Just for the weekend, but I'm traveling around the Maritimes as I go. It's a nice excuse to get back out here and see a bit of the area.
And are you self-published?
I am, yeah.
Yeah?
These are all self-published. A lot of them are hand-printed, hand-bound as well.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of work. Oh, my God.
Well, I guess it's a labor of love, comics.
Yeah.
Just
So
has to be.
everything's autobiographical?
Not everything, but 3 of my books are, and the others all have shades of me showing up in one way or another as I go.
That's awesome. Okay. How can people find your work online?
A couple places. It seemed like a good idea at the time with an irritating dash in between each word, .com. And I do an occasional web strip there that has been daily, monthly, and even less than monthly. And also Warshin.com, my last name, which no one can spell.
Are you on Instagram, or?
I am on Instagram.
Yeah?
It's at Warshin, which again, no one can spell. And on Twitter at Islagiat, which is the acronym for it seemed like a good idea at the time. So
Awesome.
I have the most difficult to find web presences possible.
I'm going to take a look at your banner, and that'll make it much easier.
Perfect.
1 second. Here we go, people. Introduce yourself for me?
I'm Sean Jordan, Word Burglar. I make rap albums and comic books. This is my latest CD. It's called Replicable Skills. This is my latest comic. It's called The Last Paper Route. I do this with my friends Dave Howlett and Alex Kennedy, and we work with artists like Mike Holmes and Andy Condom and all kinds of incredible Canadian artists. And this is a super awesome comic. And today is the day we're launching issue 3, which reveals mystery and strange histories on a paper route filled with adventures in the 1990s, and it's super awesome, and everyone should check it out. And yeah, I've got a website, wordburglar.com. You can check out my music and my comics there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Can we find you on Facebook as well under that name?
Facebook, yeah, just look for Word Burglar. I'm Burgle Words, right? right here.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Let's take a look here. Oh, there we go. Word burglar. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Mike Holmes.
I'm Meredith Graham.
And what kind of comics do you do?
All right. I do a bunch. Right now I'm doing a series called Secret Coders. It basically it's for ages 7 and up and up and up, and it teaches basic coding concepts with kind of like a high adventure story about robots and secret passages and stuff like that. It's really fun. I'm happy to be working on it. I used to work on the Adventure Time comics. I just did a book called Animal Crackers, which is a really, really fun book that I had a good time drawing.
And Bravest Warrior.
Yeah, and Bravest Warriors.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've done a lot of comics.
Look how shaky I am. There we go. And what about you?
And I did a comic up until recently called Octopus Pie. I just finished it after a 10-year run. It's basically a webcomic about people in their 20s living in Brooklyn and, you know, just sort of the genesis of early 20s to late 20s and the kind of person that you become in that time. And I tried to chronicle that through like a mostly comedic story. And yeah, now it's over and I'm selling the collected works and I don't know what's next just yet.
Awesome. How can we find you guys online?
You can get to Octopus Pie at octopuspie.com.
Nice.
I'm at MikeHolmesDraws.com.
Awesome. That's wicked. Thank you so much. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm JDC, writer and co-creator of the webcomic Conceptual Heist.
Nice. And you're from where?
I am from Montreal.
Nice. Down here for Dcaf.
Yeah,
and you said you're going to be going to a couple other cons this year.
I'm not sure what we have lined up for the rest of 2017. There's a couple that are possibly in the works. I can't say one way or another. But for next year, we're definitely coming back out to the East Coast for East Coast Comic Expo.
Great.
And we will be showing up in Toronto and a few places like that as well.
Cool. Can you tell me a little bit about your comic?
It's a science fiction jazz punk art heist. It's about an art thief in the year 2090 named by the name of Gemma Heiss, and she is looking to steal a Picasso off a space station. It's for free online at conceptualheist.com.
Awesome. And can people also buy prints and things there?
Yeah, you can get prints off of there. There's a link to our shop there. There's also a link to our Patreon.
Awesome.
Which you get all sorts of background information, some extra stories, and you will also, starting in September, you will have week early access to our strips.
Awesome. That's wicked. All right. Can I just do a sweep of your table?
Go ahead.
Great. I gotta zoom in on this piece here. And I love your banner.
Thank you.
Hi, can you introduce yourself for me?
Sure. I'm Andy Brown. I'm the publisher at Conundrum Press. We're at Dcaf outside, and been doing graphic novels and comics for 20 years. Mostly Canadian, but just some international work now in translation. And I'm very happy to be here. And one of our artists, in Case of the Missing Men, Chris Burton and Alexander Forbes, they were here last night as part of the Dcaf preliminary event, I guess, and they presented their book. So we're going to have a tour in the fall for that book, the Halifax artists.
Awesome. Are you going to be, I'm assuming you're probably going to be at a lot of other events as well. Do you want to list off some places that you're going to be this year?
Over the course of the year, yeah. Well, there's always Toronto Comic Art Festival is a big one for me, the biggest. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
I always go to Exposine in Montreal. That's where I was for 20 years. Montreal, many of these books are francophones in translation. And so I'll be there. I applied to go to Short Run in Seattle, Comics Art Brooklyn, Mocha in New York. Last year I went to Dcaf, which was really good.
Awesome.
We launched this book here, The Collected Kneel the Horse by Art Saba. She's local.
And
where else? Stockholm? I don't know. Helsinki? Who knows?
Everywhere. Oh my gosh. So what kind of books?
Angoulême in France.
Angoulême. Oh,
Yes.
okay. What kind of books do you publish mostly?
Well, graphic novels exclusively, but that's pretty broad.
For children and adults?
I started to do a lot more YA, so young adult,
Okay.
which I'm finding is very popular for like 13 to 18-year-olds, but mostly adults. All sorts of different things, short stories, full-length graphic novels. There's a lot of talent in Canada that's just coming up, and people are discovering graphic novels as an art form. And so a lot of young people with a lot of talent who might have taken their talents elsewhere are doing graphic novels, which is great. So more power to them, and I'm here trying to find out who they are.
That's awesome. If anyone wants to find you online, what's the best way?
Conundrumpress.com. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
And you've got a store online as well?
No, you can order through my website. Yeah,
Awesome, yeah.
Sure.
Great. Is it okay if I take a sweep of your table?
Oh, sweet. That's the whole point, yeah. Hi there, if you have any questions, let me know.
Do you have any other copies?
I do not, well, at home, but not here at this table, no.
Okay.
What you see is what you get today.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the same artist.
Yeah, I was looking at that one as well.
The DVD in the back, that's